All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'm just going to turn it right over to Jordan, Pete, and Carla, our CG Schmidt team. I think they have some exciting updates, even different than what I shared with you yesterday. And the even more fun part, they have pictures. So take it away.
All right, thanks, Tyler. Good afternoon, everybody.
Hi.
Good to see you again. So yeah, we're here to give another construction update for this month. So we'll jump right into it. So just a couple things we'll go over, same as every month, but we'll review the schedule. We'll go over some new updates. We'll have a quiz again, so look for that at the end, and then we'll open up for any questions that we'd be happy to answer at the end. So, all right. So tentative schedule. So Bradford Terrace, we started that in April, and we are looking to wrap that up here in October. So we're hitting the home stretch here to get Bradford done and complete so that people can move in there. So we were working very hard to get to that point, and we'll show you some of the pictures of some of the finished spaces that we have so far. The Common South area, so that's the dining room area. I think you've been looking through the viewing areas, kind of seeing progress. I know for a while there it may have seemed like there wasn't much going on, but if you looked through those windows here recently this week, you'll have seen that we've started to put drywall up, so the walls are really taking shape, and over the next few weeks you'll really see the finishes start and really see it take shape in there. So make sure you, when you're walking past the temp partition that we have set up in the corridor, take a look in the window and see what's going on in there. So, and then finally, water tower. So that's the building that Tyler's team is in right now, and we'll be starting that work here towards the end of this year, early part of the next year. So you'll learn more about that as we kind of get closer to that work. All right, I'll hand it over to Pete to talk through some updates.
Well, good afternoon. I think I know everybody here. I'll move to this side so I don't pull on the cord too hard. So we've got a couple photos for you. This area here, obviously, you can see through the viewing windows. We encourage you to take a look. A lot's happened this week. And these are pretty current photos, so these are pretty much what you'd see today if you look through there. We're really excited to know that you guys are going to be having Thanksgiving dinner in this new area. Basement renovations in Bradford Terrace, we're really excited to have that finished floor. I don't know how many of you guys venture down there. This is the salon area that we're working on, trying to get it back online for you. But we've improved the ceiling, we've got fresh floor, and a lot of new lighting. It looks entirely different than if you remember what it looked like before. So nice freshened up down there. And then Bradford Terrace, these are some pictures from August, and then a picture in September. So if you see the difference here, the drywall's been taped and painted, the flooring's been installed, there's the carpet, and then we've got that base and all the electrical outlets are in place in those rooms. In Bradford Terrace, also we've got a picture here of one of the rooms and the cabinets. We don't have the countertops; they're coming next week, and then the sinks will go in. You can see some of the ceramic tile in the bathrooms. That's one of the public bathrooms the visitors will be able to use. And then we've got a picture of one of the med rooms for staff. And then we've got a video that I took a little earlier this week. So we'll get that started for you. And this is 3 separate spaces. And this is the 2-bedroom. this is the studio. That was a rain day that day. So it's really exciting to show you some of the rooms. Actually, those rooms are more along finished than they were in this video. We're really excited to present some of those rooms for the open house, and that's on
October 26th.
October 26th. So you'll be able to walk through some of the spaces. They're definitely look like an entirely different building, so we're really excited to show them off. And then jumping to courtyard addition, I know anyone who's got a good view. There was somebody who's got a really nice view of the courtyard. Who is it again? Has a courtyard view? I thought.
I know Denny does. Denny Strati has
Looking out the windows from the other side.
Yeah, so you're looking out the windows from the other side. Well, this week there's been a lot of noise. Actually, this morning I was in the Commons and I couldn't even hardly think because the building felt like it was shaking. We were taking the concrete out. We're really excited to be building a staircase. So this box you see right here, this is the forms that are going to hold that concrete staircase Monday in place. And then they'll take all that forms off and our concrete stairs will be there when the concrete gets hard. So Monday we'll have a concrete pump. And we'll have a number of concrete trucks here between 10 and 1. And we're going to be coming through the courtyard and filling that big box with concrete. Some of the other things you can see is that we poured the concrete that will make the ramp for the addition right outside here. And we've got quite a bit of work going on out there. And I know if you hadn't noticed, we removed almost all the concrete out there. We've added gravel where the new concrete's going to be. It's starting to take shape. The retaining wall is going to be starting October 1st, and we're hoping that it starts October 1st, and it will look quite a bit different out there real soon.
Pete, where are those stairs going to be?
The what?
The stairs. Where are those?
So the stairs are inside this big black box, and they're going to go from the lower elevation, the area where you come out of the court or come out of the commons, and they would be able to take you up to the higher elevation. So if you look out there.
Does everybody know where that is? Coming right off the historic, past the business office, where Judy and Sean are. Right down there. You'll go to the left, and there'll be a large upper elevation of a ramp that'll go connect into the water tower building, and then there'll be a set of stairs that you can go down to have quicker access to the courtyard.
Right now, you took off that top level of it, of the existing platform there on the door. So that's a pretty high step. Is there going to be some kind of, it looks higher than code to me, you know?
Oh yeah, so we'll definitely have code steps. So we haven't completed all of the concrete yet, so all of the concrete will need to go. So first we're gonna take out the old soil, bring gravel in that's required underneath.
At the doorway going into the office area.
Yeah, we have definitely not, we're not ready yet. We're gonna pour that with concrete, and that'll actually flush to the thresholds, correct. And then all of our steps will meet our standard for the city code. But yeah, so we're excited to keep working and show off even more of our work. So we'll be seeing a lot of concrete this fall in there.
And the other question I have is, when you go that ramp, which side of the hallway out here is that going to go, come out of the doorway to get into it?
So the ramp, this addition here,
You know,
we're actually,
where it goes into the building, you know, through to the other hallway, you can go straight in or you can make a right angle. So where's the door going to be?
we're gonna be going straight into a room that's currently was partly used for an IT room. You probably haven't seen.
Well, it's, yeah, electrical stuff, right?
Correct. So in that room, you're going to make a 90-degree, and you'll be arriving right in front of where the elevator would drop you off. So it'll be very familiar. You'll just be skipping that short elevator ride, and so that'll eliminate the need for as much use of that elevator. And it's a nice, easy, gradual pitch, and you can see that the concrete will get a flooring covering on it, but that's the pitch right there. It's a very gradual pitch. It'll be really comfortable walking. Next slide. So we have a quiz. We have a quiz today. How long did it take to pour the concrete for the ramp? So we've got a picture here, kind of give you an idea how much concrete it is. You can see how deep the concrete is. You can see the area that we did. So this is the quiz question, and I know everybody here likes game show quiz questions. So I guess we'll start with guesses. You can do minutes, hours, days. Probably wasn't days. Any guesses?
Not very long.
205 hours.
It was not 105 hours. Not very long.
2 hours.
2 hours. Anybody else? Shorter, longer?
I watched them do it.
How long do you think it took? You watched. How long do you think it took?
Marlene, any thoughts?
Oh, no, I said I watched them do it, and I still don't know how long.
Oh, okay. Do you want to guess how long? Does it cost me anything to guess? How long did you say?
3 hours?
3 hours she guessed, and I heard 2 hours before. 35 minutes. So 35 minutes.
Oh, my gosh.
So from the time the concrete truck arrived to the time, I believe, the concrete truck left, correct?
So that's what was on the ticket, was it showed up at 10 and then it left so the concrete truck has a ticket and it said 10 o'clock from when they first started pouring and 10:35 from when they were rinsing the truck off, getting ready to leave.
So we're proud to brag a little bit about our concrete. CG Schmidt poured that concrete, and it had to make its way through that little courtyard, and we used a powered wheelbarrow. We call it a powered buggy, and it's like a wheelbarrow, and it's got a motor, and the operator stands on the back on a little platform, and it's a little faster than pushing that, but we couldn't get the concrete truck back there. So on Monday, we're going to be using a concrete pump, and so we're actually going to load the concrete into a hopper, and they're going to push the concrete through a hose or a line to get it back to that staircase walls that you saw, the big box that's hanging out back there. And then that concludes our show for today, or? Yeah, so do we have any questions?
But do you think we will really be able to use these new places by the holidays?
So we are going to be giving over to East Castle the Commons by Thanksgiving.
Okay.
We won't have the entire corridor done because we need to have time to do this area, as well as the mailroom side of everything. So we're going to finish that side. Then we're going to run the pedestrian traffic of the residents down that side, and we're going to take this side and redo this side. So we won't be able to turn over all of this by Thanksgiving, but we will be able to turn over the dining area, the bistro, the front desk, yeah. So
The general store.
the general store, yeah. So that'll be a big I think a big feather in our hat for the holidays. And we're really excited to turn over Bradford in middle of next month. So. And then we're excited to try to get all this done as fast as we can, so we can get out of here, so you guys can have it back.
Are the arches staying in the hallway?
Some of the arches are leaving, and some are staying. They're not all leaving, and some of them we're rebuilding a little different. There's some really nice pictures alongside that temporary partition. And if you want to take a look when you're walking down, you'll see some like artist renditions of what that corridor is going to look like. And there's different views. Some of them you can see into that area. Some of them you can look into the club. Is that what we're calling it? The club side. And you can see the new reception desk. It's a square instead of round. And the ceiling's a little different. The coloring is a little different in the front. And obviously new flooring. So it'll be a big, freshed up look. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Where are you gonna put the mailroom in the meantime?
So we are going to build a tunnel. This was my plan, because we can't get rid of the mailroom because you won't get any mail, and that won't work. And since I've been here April, I believe was when I arrived, I've come to realize that the mailroom serves as a meeting place for the residents, and we don't want to take that away. So we're going to leave access to the mailroom during our construction, and then when we need to do the flooring or paint the walls, we're going to kindly try to work alongside of you and then work in one of the sides at a time. Kind of like maintenance when they come in and they do some painting in the corridor, or they have to paint next to you. So we're going to try to work alongside of you so that you always have access to your mail.
Where will the extra boxes be put?
The extra boxes.
The other
For the
yeah,
people
boxes.
from the water tower?
On the other side of the wall.
on the other side of the wall.
So you'll have 2 rows. So when you go into the mailroom, you'll walk in and you'll have 2 sets of mailboxes. So all the new residents will go to the mailroom. All residents will have the 2505 East Bradford Avenue address and will be up to U.S. Postal Code standards that we do have to meet. And so our architect has already worked through that. We'll also be getting larger parcel boxes because we have to bring that up to code. And so the mailroom, again, think about where the countertop is currently. That's where basically the width of those new mailboxes. So we will lose a little bit of message board space, but remember we will also have a few more screens in the clubroom area as well. So that's something that we'll work through. We do have bulletin boards and things of that nature planned still in the mailrooms, because I know that's also a main reason or a main feature of how you get your news.
Any other questions?
How many places will the dining room be able to seat? How many people?
I don't know the furniture layout. I think that would be a question for you.
Sure. So we're working through that right now. I want to say the old dining room held about 85 is my guess, 85 to 90. This one will be more in that 80 to 85, so slightly less. However, that does not include the new club room that will have more seating than what we currently have. And also the dining program, if you came to the dining program overview with Majarka on Wednesday, we kind of walked a little bit through that. It can't seat all 140 people at one time, but that's not the intention either. So that 140 is including obviously the newer residents. So we anticipate to turn what they call turning that dining room essentially 1.5 times per night. So basically somebody coming in at 5 and then somebody else coming in at 6 and using that same table, just like restaurants do night in and night out. Because there's no restaurants that seat, well, very minimal restaurants that seat 200 people at one time. So that is not the anticipation. And also, again, the club room or the new bar bistro area, that will seat an additional 30 to 40 people. So in all, if everybody wants to dine at one time, we'll have capacity for roughly 120. That does not include Lindsay Hall. So if we really want to get really interesting with it, we can probably fit 200 people sitting down at a table with a glass of wine, soda, beer at once if we use Lindsay Hall, the bistro, and club room, and the main dining room. We won't have 200 residents. Yes?
I know that a lot of people have said, oh my gosh, it's so noisy in the dining room, and I'm sure you're taking some steps to make that a lot easier to tolerate.
So, yes. Oh, sorry, is there more?
No, that's okay.
Okay. Yes, that was a concern. I think when RDG was on site last year, that was one of the concerns that was brought to their attention. And so we will be using a different acoustical tile, as well as there's some different, I don't want to say hangings, but different ceiling features, thank you, Pete, that will help absorb some of that noise. So, and again, we have to get into the space, use the space, and see what else we need to do. Because there are a couple more options that we didn't install right away, different things that we can do to the walls and things of that nature. Because we know that noise was an issue in the last dining room. Again, I'm not going to say that the dining room is ever going to be completely noise-free or noise consistent. That's not a guarantee I can give even in the best of cases when you have 50 people dining at one time, but we do know that the noise is something that we're cognizant of. And we do have 2 private dining rooms, so if you really want to have that intimate setting or things of that nature with a smaller group, we do have 2 private dining rooms that will seat. One will seat probably 8 to 10, and the other will seat 10 to 12 in the private dining.
Any other questions for me? Jordan?
You You got it handled.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I look forward to this. I saw it on the calendar. I still want to invite my kids, my 2 adult sons that work here at CG Schmidt, to do one of these. They're currently working in Racine, taking a 120-year-old building that was, I think it was used as a warehouse or a factory, and turning it into a hotel. I got to see a couple pictures of that, so I'm hoping they can come and present a story with what their project is. I did hear that I think it was future residents went to the Bucyrus Club.
And these, a lot of current.
Did anybody here go to the Bucyrus Club? So I got the pleasure of working at the Bucyrus Club for almost 2 years. So CG Schmidt, led by myself as a superintendent, went into a building that looked almost abandoned, and we turned it into what you guys got to dine and see, the museum. We didn't have an elevator, so we had a lot of challenges in an old building putting an elevator. I was thrilled when I saw on social media or Facebook that you guys went there, and I actually bragged to my wife, I'm like, look, that's my job, and they went to my job. So thank you so much for going to the Bucyrus. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I thought it was a beautiful building. I love the wood in there, and I'm really excited to be that excited to brag to my next job about this job and tell them about the wonderful residents and how great this place looked when we leave. So thank you again for your time.
Thank you.